Hello, I'm Carmelo from Arcanum Ventures, and I'm here with my good friend Sasha. Today, we're doing another 10-minute investor eye test. This week, we're looking at Kima Network, a cross-ecosystem money transfer protocol that enables seamless and secure TradFi and DeFi interoperability without smart contracts. That is a mouthful, and I don't exactly know what it means just reading it off the screen. How's it going, Sasha? Have you heard of Kima Network?
Going well. I don't know. Actually, Kima sounds familiar. I'm wondering if there's been multiple Kimas that have launched over the past several years.
Yeah.
But it's a name that kind of like rings a bell. I don't know if they've been around for a long time. I don't know what it is, but based off what you said, it sounds like payments infrastructure, which I'm always very bullish on. I love payments infrastructure. If only governments would catch up and allow some of this stuff to happen more compliance like. So yeah, I'm excited to learn more about Kima.
Yeah, I think there was like a Zima network, and there was also like a couple other ones that rhymed with it. So it is like a sticky name that feels familiar. But yeah, it on the face, it seems like something useful. I think this is the original use case for blockchain was remittance and sending money in a more sensible way than bank wires and transfers that take days. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see what it's all about. Maybe I think we've seen some other payment apps before, but none of them really took off for whatever reason, and we're left to working with exchanges. I think exchanges are the best thing that we have anywhere close to this so far, and hopefully we have more decentralized options in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Exchanges. That's a hot topic. I think we're going to discuss
Yeah.
maybe soon in a boom room, interoperability and exchanges. But yeah, there's been so many payment solution providers. There's been so many that have failed. There's been so many that come to market, maybe like seeking some hype. I don't want to call it any names, but there's one in particular that comes to mind, launched by a notable Bitcoin up and down influencer. But yeah, I guess if you're ready, we'll dive in. We'll take 10 minutes, and for all of our viewers, if you guys are unfamiliar with this, we take 10 short minutes to evaluate a startup that's taking a token to market and understand if, number one, if it looks good enough for us to consider investing in the token, or number two, if there's enough red flags to identify in 10 minutes where we don't want to invest. Keep in mind, this is just 10 minutes. It's not the amount of due diligence that you should be doing in evaluating an investment decision, but it's just to hopefully demonstrate to you guys how much you can get done in 10 minutes, but what you still cannot uncover in 10 minutes.
It's good you explained that. We got a lot of new followers popping in.
Yeah, these keyboard warriors, man. Go back to your caves. So, without further ado, here's 10 minutes on the clock starting meow. Okay, we've got Kima, a 4-letter word. This is like this common thing in startup where people are trying to come up with like strange mouth noises from 4-letter words for their companies.
Yeah, that's like a tech startup Silicon Valley thing anyways, like these edgy names with short and sweet and good for SEO, I guess. And I think everything's a network these days. So Kima Network, everything you can add network or ventures at the end of it and it'll work somehow.
Yeah, I'm excited. I just want to like name random companies. That'd be a fun job. Shuzu Network. That's coming up soon. Okay.
Shizo.
Kima disrupts traditional interoperability solutions, facilitating the swift adoption of Web3 and crypto for every user. Didn't PayPal try to do that and then they got sued by the SEC?
I don't know. I mean, PayPal has its own stable coin like PYUSD or something, but I don't know if it really ended up disrupting or changing anything.
Yeah, I think Piust got taken into the dirt.
Pious.
But we'll check it out. We've got a number of notable investors. Funny thing is, for some reason, CryptoRank ranks these as tier 3. We've got Mastercard as tier 3. They're in the same tier with Decubate and Ferrum. No shade on these guys. We know both of them, and we like them very much. But Mastercard, come on.
I mean, Big Brain Holdings and Outlier are also not tier 3. They're pretty good. They have like Degen Ventures tier 1, Mastercard. Never heard of them.
Yeah, we've got ChainGPT Labs. They seem to be involved in everything nowadays. WagMe Ventures, Gains, Maven. So there's a pretty good list of backers, right?
Yeah, yeah, really
And
good
then
list.
mm,
And we always say,
and
like, you can't just look at the cap table alone to say this is good, which a lot of VCs and retail investors do, but we're not like that. But you can't ignore it either. We always ask a question like, "Oh, wow, okay, Paradigm or A16Z or Sequoia is on board. Now I need to find out. Like, I need to know what they see because I'm not seeing it. Not for Kima, but for ones we've done in the past."
I wonder who the intern was to lump Mastercard into tier three. You gotta reach out to crypto and figure out what happened there.
I feel
But
compelled to reach out to Mastercard and be like, "Do you know this crypto website ranks you as tier 3 investor?"
yeah, yeah, you should destroy their entire platform. So the FDV of about 45 million, which I don't know what Kima is yet, but if it's a large scale payment infrastructure with those backers, 45 million sounds quite reasonable, actually.
Yeah, it might be an old valuation too. Like you and I have seen some adjustment. We've done some adjustment on the FDV and launch prices and everything right now because I think across the board everybody's like scaling those down. It's getting harder and harder to justify these large launches. So maybe it's old, maybe it's a blockchain. I'm still not sure what it is yet.
Yeah, we're gonna find out very soon, but I do want to just point this out. Hopefully, CryptoRank just has like a gap in information. It's not getting the right tokenomics. But if you're looking at like a token distribution and you see 35% goes to other, I would run. That's not that's not okay on
Don't
your
worry about
tokenomics. Oh
it.
man.
Nothing to see here.
Uh, let's let's check out the website. All right. Ooh, already I like this. It's very pretty.
Oh, I think I totally went to the wrong website before. All right. uh, all right,
So
yeah,
what do you
it's
see
nice,
here, man?
clean. You know me, I like really nice, clean, simple, beautiful looking websites. This has a nice aesthetic. Their primary call to action is learn more. I don't know, learn more about what? Maybe that leads you right to the white paper.
I guess we'll find out. Check it out. Oh, it just takes you to the features.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So it's just like keep scrolling.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah. All right. So I guess there's token just shining right in our face. Like we can dive right into the token, or we can try to scroll through the website and see the traction, or maybe what logos they are farming.
I
All
guess
right,
we
they
got to
got a
figure out what the hell they do first, right? So they've like we don't even know what the product is yet, but they say there's 90% fewer attack vectors. I mean, this says decentralized money transfer protocol. So
yeah,
is it just crypto? That's what crypto is, right?
yeah. I mean, they say they're showing all these chains on that carousel right below. So they're integrated with Ethereum, Polygon, Solana,
Solana,
Avalanche,
Avalanche,
Cello. Uh,
BNB
don't
chain,
BNB chain. I don't
Bitcoin.
know what that one is. Bitcoin. So they got
Yeah, I don't know
several
what this is
chains.
either.
Um, it's probably Shizu network.
Yeah, I mean, 90% fewer attack vectors compared to what? So can't hack it if it isn't there. We don't have oracles or relayers
Wait,
or
that's like
smart
saying you can't
contracts.
steal my wallet if it's not in my pocket.
Did these guys just reinvent Bitcoin? So,
I mean, they have the Bitcoin logo right there, so they're
I don't
acknowledging it.
understand.
All right, so financially sustainable. Kima's economic model does not rely on token subsidies. Instead, it pays liquidity providers and real yield. Oh, yield. All right.
Oh man, how many times have we read real yield on these eye tests?
Real world yield. No
All
smart
right, so they're
contracts. How how can you not have any smart contracts?
it's just a payment infrastructure. It's just crypto. It's a blockchain that allows like it's just Bitcoin, I think. But I guess it's Bitcoin with like some liquidity protocol where or some liquidity criteria that they need to maintain, and then it can support up to $10 of transactions for every $1 of TVL. So it sounds like the network they're prioritizing TVL to some extent, but then as far as the operation of the network, there's like some leverage or margin in how much volume can be supported for the TVL, which I'm not exactly sure how that works yet. But it
I
doesn't
mean, they
sound like you can build anything on this network, which
no,
is
I don't.
strange because why would people invest in it if it's just another payment infrastructure?
I mean, Mastercard invested apparently, so must be something there we're missing. But there has to be smart
Hmm.
contracts because there's a token. Like there is at least some smart contracts involved in this.
Maybe it's just a
Especially,
coin, you know? for a
Yeah, but
network.
if there's like a liquidity pool too, like that's smart contracts.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a decentralized exchange somewhere on the network, then it will require smart contract technology, or else it's some sort of like custodial centralized exchange, unless I'm missing something, right?
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of buzzwords and not a lot of explanation, like AI models that ensure maximum utilization of deployed capital or decentralization. But I mean, it could be something great. I just don't really understand what they're doing just yet.
Yeah, this reminds me, like, this was probably written by some like MBA who just has like a buzzword fetish. I see the liquidity management algorithm ensures maximum liquidity depth. Like, that's a wonderful sentence. Like,
It's now
tell us
sounding
what
like
that means, guys.
it sounds like a Dex now, right?
Yep, it does sound like a DEX. Unprecedented level of assurance and control. This is not a word you want to bring into a decentralized payment infrastructure in explaining what it does. Oh, here we go. How the magic happens.
Also,
We've
Target
got
Wallet scares me a little bit.
yeah. I mean, in according to this extremely simple flowchart, Kima acts as a sort of like third-party infrastructure play where it allows any app to integrate and then automate payments between users and wallets.
Which is pretty
Which I
useful.
guess, yeah, it is useful, but like that exists already, doesn't it? That exists with like a number of different blockchains that allow payments with smart contracts
I mean, in
that
such a
have a history of decentralization.
with such a big niche, like it makes sense. Even if they do exist already, like for sure there has to be some more competitors out there. It's good to have diversity and options.
Hmm.
So they're doing
This
lending and
website's
borrowing. This is like DeFi, yeah. This is straight up DeFi.
I gotta say, this website is like the gift that keeps on giving, man. Just goes on forever. Yeah, payment, lending, games,
X.
universal wallets, bridges, decks. I don't know how they're gonna have games if they only have payments.
Oh, I
Like
don't know if they
you
have
probably
games.
need some more fun infrastructure.
These are just like potential clients, I guess, for like games and NFT marketplaces. Dexes can use this, Bridges can use this. So it sounds like a liquidity engine, something we've seen before a few times as well. More focus on the payment side in the swapping. So it's like a B2B play or B2B to C, even helping dApps better manage the flow of exchange value between their users, I guess.
Maybe. I
But the
mean, it
token,
sounds simple, but it sounds like they're trying to overcomplicate something simple. This link, oh, here we go. We got to figure out what the token does, right? Because we're running out of time.
yeah, I think we're almost out of time. I'm nervous.
So transaction fees charged at exit pool in target currency. Oh, there's a typo there, guys. And then gas payments. So much like any blockchain, maybe even like a decentralized exchange. Oh,
Uh
there's our 10
oh.
minutes, man. Oh man, we got to take a little extra time. 50% paid to providers, so LP providers. Nothing too novel. 50% converted to Kima, so a buyback. 25% goes to the foundation. 25% goes to validators. What does the foundation do with all that money?
I don't know, but this also sounds like smart contracts, right? Like you need smart contracts to disperse that money between those parties uh, programmatically, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know. Like, have they built some infrastructure that like can create a blockchain and facilitate payments and have like complex sort of like value routing without smart contract infrastructure? There's something I'm missing here. What
And
I
it,
do know is that this very official looking company just used a Google Sheets screenshot. Come on, guys.
at least it's 3 dimensional. We've seen a lot of bad 2 dimensional ones.
Yeah, the colors are nice. They're nice and pastel.
It did say above, this is the first mention in that host app bubble. It says end user initiates, transaction pays, app chain gas. So, yeah, app chain is the first mention of this actually being a chain, right? I haven't seen any other mentions on this website to confirm it, which you think would be prominently displayed in the intro blurb on the main website. So I think they not really highlighting the fact that this is an app chain, right?
Well, this is This is a very, very good, maybe something to point to when going through our verdict. And there's a lot, I think, to digest here. But before we do, I want to remind all of you guys, if you like this content, smack that like button, give us a subscribe. We got more fun, witty content coming out very soon, where we poo-poo on everything else in this space. Just kidding. I think the last eye test that we went through, we really liked. I forget what it was, but it was a decent looking project. And without further ado, let's dive into some verdicts. You want me to start, or you want to go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead. You start.
Okay. So, number one, I think there is some merit to what Kima's doing based off of the backers alone. I don't think that companies would be investing into some infrastructure like this if there wasn't a reason behind it, or there wasn't some future value behind what they're building. And so it's a very, very good testament to the fact that you cannot learn everything about a company or a startup by just spending 10 short minutes. Their goal should be to help educate people on what exactly they're doing and why it's important within 10 minutes, hopefully within 2 minutes. They failed at that. I don't know what the hell this is. I don't know what Kima's building. It sounds like it could be a lot of other things. I might be stupid, but I like to think that I know a little bit about Web3, crypto, infrastructure, and technology. So I don't know, like, based off that what we just read, like if it is a sort of plug and play payment solution specifically built for app chains, or they've built an app chain themselves. I don't know the level of custodianship in assets that are being held or transacted. I don't know how it's really decentralized. I know that the token is basically meant to power this infrastructure, even though they didn't explicitly say that, and then it collect fees. So I don't really know like what other use cases the token has besides collect fees and pay out 3 different parties of people. So there's a lot more to digest. I'm going to give it 1 thumb sideways simply because I'm curious around the backers and I'm curious what else there is and I'm missing. And also my ego's hurt a little bit. I feel like I might be stupid and maybe I missed the whole point and I want to spend more time learning. But I am disappointed in Kima for not figuring out how to communicate what the hell they are doing in a good and efficient manner. So 1 thumb sideways, guys. It seems like you've got a good amount to improve in the message or the narrative that you're giving. But I definitely want to learn more about this because I love payment infrastructure. I think it's an extremely valuable use case around crypto.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I'm kind of on the fence between am I stupid and not understanding this, or did they just do a bad job? And we've seen this before. Like, I don't want anybody watching this to think that we're just being outright critical of the actual company itself. We might be criticizing the way they communicate what they're doing, their value proposition. They might have something incredible on their hands that we don't fully understand. And how could we in 10 minutes? I would hope that I had a better understanding after 10 minutes than what we currently have. But, we also said in the beginning of the video, we don't expect to learn everything we need to as investors after 10 minutes. So I'd say based off everything we see, and you're right, like seeing MasterCard on there, seeing some top tier investors that are not tier 3, like pretty good investors, I would say thumbs up in the sense that they at least did enough to intrigue me to want to learn more about it. I want to see how they're different than the other providers that you mentioned, both traditional and Web3. I want to see what tech they're using. I want to see if this is actually a blockchain. I think the token flow chart was at least concise and made a little bit of sense. So I'm not really doubting the token economics setup so much. I would like to see more as far as decentralization goes, because that is something they've chosen to highlight as a key fundamental component of this. But it's interesting. I like payment solutions too. I think we need this to get to the next level to make Web3 a little bit more accepted and used by other shops, people that would never even have considered crypto last cycle. But yeah, they could do a lot better. So Kima team, if you're watching this is some helpful advice from 2 guys that might be stupid, might be smart. We don't know yet, but definitely check out your website and make sure that the value flow and everything is concisely laid out so that your users, you might have like gold on your hands and your users don't know it, or your potential token holders. So I think that's 1 thumb up from me, 1 sideways thumb from Sasha. and that's another one in the books. That was a long one. And we needed a little bit more than 10 minutes this week, but that's all right. No one's keeping track.
Yeah, it was a fun 10 minutes. I always love uncovering typos on websites. I don't know. It's just a strange thing that brings me happiness. Anyways, Kima, best of luck to you guys on the upcoming token launch, and best of luck to all the backers and investors here. I hope this does well, and I hope they build something very valuable. And until next time, friends, make sure, again, give us a like and subscribe, and stay safe out there. A lot happening in this space, and we'll see you guys next week.
Ciao.